Good morning. Good morning. 안녕하세요. ¿Cómo está usted? Buenos días. I welcome you. I got to learn. I know I keep saying this. Someone just came up to me and said, here's how you say it in Portuguese. And I forgot. So send me your language. But what you got to do is phonetically do it so I know how to pronounce it correctly. I want to learn to say good morning, hello in different languages. I'm limited. What can I say? So Saul has gathered the people together at Gilgal, and the troops with him were quaking with fear. The people are hiding and running, but the troops are like, oh, that's how many Philistines there are? Like, yo, I didn't know it was like that. It's going to be this way? You know, I thought like 20, 30 guys would show up with a big P on their shields, but no. Vast army. And they said there's so many there, and they counted them. Let's count it again. Okay, so they got that many, 300,000 or 100,000, whatever. And then there's us. And then look at their shields. Man, my shield looks like a little, a large dictionary. They got these big shields. And by looking at the outward, they're quaking with fear. That's the way it is in life. If you just look at the circumstances, you can go under. Is that not true? I know that. I've been attacked by fear, depression, and all of that, but I never got it while I was looking at Jesus and the Word of God. Never once. No, God has not given us a spirit of fear. God has not given us a spirit of fear, but He has given unto us a spirit of power, of love, and a sound mind. If we're fearing and afraid and anxiety-ridden, we're out of the will of God. We somehow lost our way. Come on. Let's believe. So now they're quaking, and they're at Gilgal, and Saul knows we should offer a sacrifice to God before we go to battle. But Samuel has said, do not offer it until I get there. When I get there, I'll get there on time, but do not offer it because you're not qualified to offer it. That would violate Leviticus, who's qualified to offer the sacrifices. So Saul waited 7 days, the time set by Samuel. But Samuel did not come to Gilgal, and Saul's men were beginning to scatter. So he said, bring me the burnt offering and the fellowship offerings. And Saul offered up the burnt offering, and just as he finished, can you believe this? Just as he finished making the offering, Samuel arrived, and Saul went out to greet him. What have you done? Asked Samuel. Verse 11. Saul replied, when I saw that the men were scattering and that you did not come at the set time. He came a half hour after Saul did the sacrifice, they guesstimate, the commentators, and that the Philistines were assembling at Michmash. I thought, now the Philistines will come down against me at Gilgal, and I have not sought the Lord's favor. So I felt compelled to offer the burnt offering. So what is he doing? He's copying a plea, and he's making excuses for his disobedience. He disobeyed the Lord's command. Why? Samuel said, I'm telling you, I will come on time. I will offer the sacrifice and then go into battle. But Saul said, look, I know I did it. I shouldn't have done it. I got it. But some of the troops are leaving. Eleazar, Joshua ben Benjamin or whatever, and his whole family, they took off. And they're leaving. That gives me less troops. So I got to do what I got to do. So I felt forced. I was compelled. See, this is what is going to end up blowing up in Saul's face and does for us. I felt compelled. I mean, like my body came under some cosmic rays and I was moved toward the altar and I was forced to do it because the men were leaving, and then he justifies it religiously. And I thought, I can't go to battle without offering God a sacrifice. Well, that's good, but you have to do it God's way. So he did a religious thing with the wrong spirit in disobedience to the word of the Lord by Samuel. Do you get it? This is very big, because what follows is, you have done a foolish thing, Samuel said. You have not kept the command of the Lord your God that he gave you. If you had, he would have established your kingdom over Israel for all time. But now your kingdom will not endure. The Lord has sought out a man after his own heart and appointed him ruler of his people. That's going to be David. Because you have not kept the Lord's command. You mean Saul blew it by offering a sacrifice which he was not qualified to offer. He didn't belong doing that. God gave instructions about that. But what's it matter when your troops are leaving and when the Philistines look big, bad, and invincible? And on top of that, I just felt compelled. You know, the devil made me do it. And when God hears that, he knows this is not someone he can work with. He lost the kingship because he didn't have faith to obey God. He also says, yo, Samuel, you didn't come on time. And Samuel said, I told you I would come on the seventh day. Is this the seventh day? I came a half hour after you disobeyed. You couldn't wait. What a lesson for us. We disobey God because we feel pressed and we feel justified in disobeying what we know is right because we don't have the faith to wait. Notice this. He didn't lack faith to do. He had lacked faith to wait. God's timing. God's way. Are you facing anything today where God is saying, wait, I'm coming through? Oh, don't take it in your own hands. Trust me. How many people have I counseled over the years? They married someone, they should have no more married that person than I should jump over the moon. But I was getting older and I was lonely and and then now they're crying in my office. The guy has walked out. He's with 3 different other women or whatever the circumstances are. Couldn't wait. I don't like New York. I got to move. Let me give you some that I've dealt with. I got to move. I heard Pennsylvania has grass. They actually have trees in Pennsylvania. But did God tell you to move? Is God leading you to move? No, but look what's happening in the city, in the subways. So I'm out of here. Sometimes God leads people away from New York or wherever you live, but not always. A lot of it's just fear, selfishness. We can't wait. Listen, I speak from my own, look back on my life. If anything is God taught, God is never late. He's always on time. But he's not on your time and my time. Oh, have I learned that? So wait. Now the man who God is going to replace him with, David, he wrote somewhere, my soul, wait upon the Lord. Blessed is the man who waits and puts his trust in God. That man, woman, will never be ashamed. Let's do it today. In Jesus' name. See you tomorrow.